Good morning.
Good morning.
So, my name is Corinne Moody. I'm the CEO of Habitat for Humanity, serving Hartford as well as some areas of Collin County. Very happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome on behalf of our board of directors and our staff and our families. We are so grateful that you were able to come out this morning despite the weather. The highlight of today is celebrating homeownership, celebrating families. Amen?
Amen.
So I have the privilege of inviting Mayor Ellen Zappos up to say a few words, but I wanted to say this, and I looked up her bio. So Mayor Zappos has been involved in Bristol politics most of her life. So that means something. That means that she is committed, dedicated, and has a spirit of service, because politics is serious business, right? Sometimes you get in the mud. Sometimes you got to get a little dirty. And so, Habitat, we know far too well that in our business, we get dirty, right? Staff, volunteers, we get dirty. So very grateful for her support. Looking forward to doing more in the town of Bristol. And without further ado.
So we've been waiting for this day for a long time. We love the fact that this happened right in the heart of downtown where so much is happening. We love that it involved so many different groups from Main Street to A.G. Russell. And I think one thing about Bristol, we were talking about it earlier in the group, is that we really are a small town, even though we are a city. And so a neighborhood such as this, which has such a big history, this used to be part of Albert Rockwell's estate. His house was built here. It reached back to the 80 acres of park that he donated for the benefit of the people that worked for him. They worked 6 days a week, and most of them were in tenements and apartments, and they didn't have the opportunity for either home ownership, as most of them were immigrants, or green space, because they were so packed into those dwellings. He eventually, to the north of us, built an entire neighborhood of single-family homes for his workers. That was known as the Rockwell Estates. So the history, the fact that we're standing on ground that was once owned by one of the biggest entrepreneurs of Bristol who cared about the community, is a perfect tie-in to what Habitat for Humanity stands for, what our business community does to roll up their sleeves and make this a better place for their own employees, as well as the opportunities and hope for others. So we're thrilled to be here, and we are so looking forward to these two families integrating themselves not only into this neighborhood, but into everything else that Bristol has to offer. So thank you.
So in 2006, our organization, Hartford Habitat, decided that we wanted to give the opportunity to serve as many families as possible. And so one of the programs that we created was a Brush with Kindness, which allows us, as while we're building in a particular town, to also extend additional services to other homeowners who may be veterans, limited mobility. But the reality is that we want as many people to stay in their home as possible and allow them to age in place. So one of our extensions as part of this build was to reach out, and we did 2 repairs within the town. And today we have Cheryl Lesnowski to come and share a few words, as well as to welcome the new homeowners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My husband and I are truly grateful to Habitat to Humanity. My husband had fallen twice in the shower, and it was rotted my tub, and I didn't know what we were going to do. And my guardian angel sent Habitat to me. They came in, they put in a walk-in shower and bars and a bench for him, and it's so much easier for him now. They put a higher toilet in, so it's easier for him to get up and down. They took care of my mold problem. They put faucets and Chris was so wonderful to me. He answered all my questions. He put up with me with my falling down. And then the workers were just wonderful. They were so kind. And I don't know what I would do with them. God bless you.
I just want to say one thing. I thank you all for doing this and helping people I didn't know where to turn to. And Habitat I've heard about, but Chris and his team and the workers, this project was going to take longer. When I called to initiate it and ask about it, someone told me it's going to take more than 3 months. And I spoke to Tracy and her team that she worked with, and they turned to me and said, "Oh, it's going to take you 3 months." I says, "You know what? We don't have 3 months." I says, "Bread is falling in the tub. It's cracked. It's really bad." And we pushed so hard, and Tracy, they got it done within a month. And we had I have never seen a better team. I can't refer enough and say enough about Habitat. I am so grateful to them and all they do. And I have said I will be more than happy, my family, to help. They were really wonderful.
So now I'm about to pass the hosting duties over to Eric Brown. It's a pleasure to introduce Eric, who has recently completed his service term as a board member on our board. Eric is, I'm going to say this, I'm not going to embarrass you. Eric is very quiet. You really don't hear much from Eric until it matters. Until he has an opinion and he wants to bring his technical expertise in, then you will hear from Eric. But other than that, he has been a joy to work with. Our first kickoff was the Restore. We have a Restore in Bloomfield. And at the time, the organization was, we was building, we were doing this, we were doing that. And of course, they say go big or don't do it at all. And so, of course, we did it big. But I do know that because of his help and his leadership, we were able to do it big and do it well. So, Eric Brown, thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. The Sheehy family has arrived. And it is my pleasure to acknowledge the Sheehy family for their perseverance, hard work, and commitment to realize their American dream. Congratulations to an industrious family who is willing to do what it takes to have a home of their own and the courage to move to this new community for them here in Bristol. As a Habitat volunteer, I was privileged to work with Annie and a number of my KVE colleagues on this very build. Installed some siding on the wall up there. It still looks pretty good. And among other tasks, we helped to transform this place to what you see today. We and hundreds of other volunteers came through here and worked through COVID protocols and weather and other setbacks to make a difference in this build. If you haven't volunteered for Habitat, I highly recommend it. It's an awesome experience. As a board member of the Hartford Area Habitat for Humanity for the last several years, there's been nothing more gratifying to me than a dedication ceremony. It's why we serve. It's what we're about. It's a transformative experience for the Sheehy family, for this community, and for those of us who helped to see this day arrive. It's an awesome thing. I know I speak for the board of directors and Habitat staff when I say I wish the Sheehy family joy, compassion, and great success in their new home. And for Grandma, Bekoni Ketusheti de Familian Sheehy. Congratulations. I'll get your key.
So I'd like to take the opportunity to ask our sponsors to say a few words. I'm going to ask Jason from Arthur G. Russell if you would like to grace us with a few words. And I'll introduce Jason. So maybe 3-4 years ago, I got a phone call, and Jason reached out and said, we want to do a build. And I said, oh, okay, not a problem. And I immediately connected him with Rose. And I think that was in 2017, right? And Arthur G. Russell came out like strong, like an army, and took over our sites. And from then, we've been building with Jason and his team since then. So when the opportunity came that we could kick off and start, a potential project in Bristol, I remember mentioning it to him on another site, and he said, "We're in." And so it speaks highly. I know that I'm not going to take my words, but it speaks highly. And come on up there.
Thank you. You guys know I don't like doing this.
I know.
I just wanted to thank everyone from AGR and Habitat. Without all of you, this would not be possible. We're blessed at our company, and we'd love to give back to our community, from our founders all the way up to current owners. We love giving back to our community, and there's nothing better than Habitat and this experience that we're allowed to have. So to the new homeowners, good luck. I hope this house gives you many years of happiness and with your kids. And God bless you all, and thank you very much. We look forward to many more years of this.
All right.
Thank you all very much.
So I also like to invite Tim O'Brien to come up from KBE to say a few words. I believe this was the second time that KBE built with us or volunteered with us.
Thank you. And yes, I'd like to echo the sentiments of the speaker before me that we're really happy to be part of such a great build. So thank you to Habitat for Humanity. One of the things that we hold dear as a company is volunteerism. So the idea that we have an opportunity to give back to our community that we live and work in is a great opportunity for us. When we ask our employees who's willing to step up, we get a lot of hands that raise up, and that's a great thing to say. It's not just about our company, it's about our communities. We all believe in community. So the idea that Habitat gives us the opportunity for something like this on a grand scale makes us feel great. And thank you to Eric, our prior partner, for helping us get involved in this. And we look forward to continuing that into the future. So thank you very much, and good luck to the new families. Welcome.
So I'm going to ask Victoria Corless to come up. So Victoria, which house is yours? This one? Okay.
Yeah.
So Victoria has been, started, I think, when did you come in? Like in the 2019, early 2020?
February 2020.
February 2020. And so most of you realize that these homes, we started recruiting prior to the pandemic, and then we continued to build during the pandemic. And I think what I want to say is that takes great courage on behalf of our volunteers, but it also takes great faith on behalf of families to keep the faith and keep it going. So, and I know you're a Bristol.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. And the mayor and I had that conversation about we stay here. Bristol people stay here. So I'm going to turn it over and let Victoria say some words.
I don't do speeches. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here today. Thank you, AGR. My son actually was on the robotics team for 3 years with you guys. So right on. Go Team Peace. Thank you to my family for being there every step of the way through this and putting up with me, plotting and planning everything I want to do for the last year and few months. Thank you to the volunteers that helped make this possible. I put a lot of blood and sweat into that house and this house. And without the volunteers, and the help from AGR and all of our sponsors, none of this would have been possible.
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words? Sure.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out here on this big day for me and my family. My name is Sonia, and I'm the homeowner of this beautiful house here. My family and I are standing here before you, humbled and overwhelmed by a combination of excitement and disbelief. In addition to being a full-time single parent, I'm also financially responsible for my elderly mother who resides with me, so I wouldn't even dare to dream of owning a home. And while that was before Hartford Habitat for Humanity came into the picture and into my life, a vessel of joy and hope who stands behind its mission 100%. For that, I would like to thank and give credit to Corinne Modi, a beautiful soul, a beautiful, humble, and humane person with staff and volunteers who stand right behind her in this great mission. My family and I are grateful to those working behind the scenes as much as those working up front who have patiently coached me through this memorable journey. Special thanks to Tracy, Janaea, Len, and of course, Diana, who's probably hiding somewhere back there. I'd like to thank all the sponsors, agencies, non and for profit, especially J.A. Bristol and KBE, who have partnered with Hartford Habitat and joined them to turn my and my family's dream into a reality. Last and most importantly, I'm grateful and thankful to God because without Him, none of us would be here and none of this would be possible. So thank you so much.
Sonia, you just let me right in. This is the house prayer. Like, it's perfect. Okay. So normally, I know we always, hold hands, but we can't do that because we want to stay healthy. Amen. So, in the back of the program, if you have a program, there is a house blessing, a non-denominational house blessing. Feel free to join me. I'm going to read it out loud. Just know that we're sending all of our love to both Victoria and Sonia for what the future begins. This is a new beginning. This is the rain coming down, and this is the new beginning. Amen. So by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Please fill these homes with love, protection, provision, and unity. Bless this new beginning and prepare paths filled with new friendships, new experiences, new joy, all for your purposes and plans. Make this home a safe haven, filled with love now and always. Amen. So this concludes our program, but I am going to ask that both the homeowners as well as our sponsors please position themselves to your designated homes so we can get some pictures and, stuff, scrapbook stuff. just to keep it to your heart and share with your family and friends. Amen. On behalf of Habitat for Humanity, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate you. If I could just say 2 words, because I'm known for putting a little shameless plug, but when we broke ground on these homes in July of 2020, we didn't know what we were doing. We were like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to step out on faith and we're going to do it. And I have to say that this community met us right there. The neighbors, our corporate sponsors, the mayor's office. It's like the sun came out when it shouldn't have come out, but it came out. So know that you are part of something magnificent, right? Know that. I want you to leave here knowing that you did it and you were part of this big thing. And that's a blessing. So I hope this stays with you all day, even into tomorrow. Cool? All right. Peace.